Video 105. October 17, 2013. Mythi, what news on the EE'sJerking? How was the interaction with Mars and how it should be with the Earth? How are you envisioning these next months? Friends, the news that we have are worrying. The EE'sJerking has not interfered with Mars or any other planet yet, it is under lane orbits and the balance of the system. The EE'sJerking is not a problem for your planet, do not be fooled by an expectation of destruction generated by the theater mounted by your governments. The fact that governments have turned off the monitoring systems is part of the theater designed to distract attention. The natural restructuring problems that are about to happen are directly linked to the great energy field, which the solar system is passing by, liquefying the core layers of the planets, causing magnetic changes. The realignment of the axis of rotation according to the movement of the planet's crust, and causing the surface growth foreseen for this actual phase. All planets, including your Sun, are going through this injection of energy, accelerating the processes. Like you to increase the tension in a lamp so that it is more hot and lit. The system Nibiru will be visible, but its influence is no longer a problem. By the distance which was recalculated by EE'ends in its passage. On questions about the Moon is changing position, to reason this fact. The Moon is orbiting the Earth led by the force of gravity on the planet. If this tangential point of gravity changes with the movement of the Earth's core to a new declination, of course the Moon will be forced to follow this tangency. This may cause, besides change of position with respect to the Earth's crust, a rotation in the face of the Moon as seen from Earth. Many billions of objects as comets, asteroids and minor planets are gravitationally locked to the solar system in the Oort cloud, and in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. All these objects are also being greatly affected, causing electrical discharges and jets of escaping gases from cracks and holes that act as propulsion, causing their movement, clashing against each other, and many will be attracted to the center of gravity of the system, reaching your Sun and provoking large solar flares. In a very simple explanation is a symptom like when you heat the corn to make popcorn. This is causing many objects on a collision course with the system planets, including Earth. Some of these objects are being monitored, but will be used by your governments to increase the anarchy that they intend to impose on the planet as a whole. When things really heat up, they have already prepared their places to hide. We know that for every object that we trap in your atmosphere will be a false event ready to wreak havoc, planted by your own governments. They have set up the show, now plan to only put out the light, to start. You will undergo a major sequence of events planned, added to the natural events that will succeed. Be prepared to face the attacks of your governments against you, paralyzing the global economy, and removing the population's basic needs such as energy, water, food, and communications. They take advantage of natural events on the growth of the crystallized to objects and solar emissions that will reach your atmosphere to install chaos with social bankruptcy. Decisions about reducing population are already taken by all the leaders of all the countries involved, with the exception of some countries in the Middle East and Asia only. They know that we have access to activation codes of nanocomponents by cellular frequencies. So they also will try more direct methods such as vaccinations and nanocomponents with self-timers activation. Avoid any attempt to vaccination treatments or shelters on the part of your governments. They have to run with the plans now because events are already knocking on the planet. With respect to your nature, many animals will still continue dying in the oceans and on land. For premeditated destruction of ecosystems, poisoning, radiation, and lack of magnetic orientation. By weakening and changes in the geomagnetic field of the planet, the remaining food will not be enough to keep the populations due to the erratic behavior of your atmosphere. The HARP system is still being used to cause dense fog, swirls and hurricanes. The intention is to cause chaos and administer it by force. We will be on standby for when the time comes we appear openly, and can help communities abandoned to their fate. I cannot speak much more details at the time not to interfere with the sequence of events. But I hope I have given you an idea of what might happen during this season. Depends on you are always prepared and alert to the isolation by the plans of your governments. The Community Galactica will continue to pressure governments indirectly trough contacts Pleiadians, but cannot interfere in the decisions of your governments about the economy or control of your societies. I intend to warn you whenever possible, the events in real time.